Hello and welcome. Today's video we're going to be doing about purchasing a used vehicle, especially in Australia. The 5 key points I'm going to cover is number 1, a roadworthy check and registration. Number 2, doing a PPSR check. Number 3, search common problems on Google and see if any of these apply to the vehicle you want to purchase. You do not want to purchase a vehicle that has common engine or transmission problems. They can be costly to repair. Number 4, check the price of replacement engines or transmissions. At the time of purchasing a vehicle, these might be running well and good at the dealer and whatnot, but if it comes to it and there's problems relating to engines or transmissions, that's when it'll be costly to repair. Number 5, get a pre-purchase inspection done if you don't have mechanical knowledge, or if you don't know anyone that has mechanical knowledge that can have a look for you. I'd do this if I didn't have mechanical knowledge and the car was on a more of a pricier side. An example, Redbook pre-purchase inspection reports. And without further ado, we'll dive deeper into each of these key points. Coming in at number 1 is do not buy a vehicle that does not come with roadworthy and registration unless you have mechanical knowledge and expertise, or you have a trusted mechanic, someone, maybe a family or a friend that is well with cars. Now, a roadworthy, otherwise RWC, is a certificate that shows that the vehicle is safe enough to be used on public roads. A roadworthy is required whenever a vehicle is sold, if it's being registered, and to clear some defect notices. Now, for example, you're looking at a vehicle which is probably $2,000 to $3,000 below market price, and you think you're getting a good deal, but it does not come with roadworthy and registration, or does not come with roadworthy. Now here's the catch. To get the roadworthy and to transfer the vehicle under your name, there might need to be $5,000 to $6,000 in required repairs to be able to get the roadworthy. So before you thought you were getting a good deal, it's $2,000 to $3,000 below market price, but in reality it's actually $2,000 to $3,000 above market price. So do not buy a vehicle that it does not come with a roadworthy check and registration. And coming in at number 2, we have a PPSR check. And what this is if a vehicle has been previously written off or reported stolen, on this check it would show most of the time, unless the repairs were done not via insurance and fixed without going through the register. So how you do this one is on Google, PPSR check, and it's www.ppsr.gov.au, and for $2 you go onto here, do a vehicle search. The vehicle you want to purchase, you will need to get the VIN number. Once you put in the VIN number and your email and pay the $2, it will look something like this. So this will be serial number, search certificate, the personal property securities register, the VIN number you put in, and this is just an example. Basically, if the vehicle has been previously written off, so this one has been written off 23 November, impact, driver front heavy panel, and transmission case unrepairable, and not recorded as stolen. So the vehicle that you're going to buy, you'd be blank over here. You'd want it to be blank and not recorded as been previously written off. And for $2, I believe it's good value for money, and you should do this just to be a bit more on the safer side. As I said, if repairs were done without being put on the register, there's nothing you can really do about that one. But I definitely think it's worth it. Number 3, you love a look of a car, the way it drives, you saw it at a second-hand dealer. What I would do is get the exact specifics of the vehicle, from the year to the engine to the transmission, and I would write on Google common problems and I would have a read of some of the things that have been reported to be, common issues on the vehicles. And you do not want these problems to be big engine or transmission related. So clutch problems on a Mazda 3, it's got high cost of repairs. This is from Mazda 3s from 2010 to 2011, for example. And I'll read through these common problems websites, a number of them, and see if there's anything big that would cost a lot of money to repair in the future. So you can check the Mazda 3 if your vehicles are 2011 or 2018, that sort of thing. You would want there to be no issues, common problems relating to the two more expensive parts of a car, which is the engine and the transmission. For example, a Renault Clio, common problems, gearbox problems, is how much is the gearbox? It's a big problem, and cost of repair will be too great, and that will be number 3, and I think it's very important to know that is applicable to your vehicle. And coming to our 4th point, I cannot stress this enough, this is probably the most important point. The two most expensive components of a car are generally the engine and the transmission. So, I'll give you an example of why this is important. Let's look at a Renault Megane from 2010 to 2015. The different types of engines it has, right? So you have a Renault Megane here with a 2-litre petrol engine at $19,000. And then you also have a Renault Megane here with a 4-cylinder 1.2-litre turbo petrol engine, and that's $17,000. So this one might look cheaper, but in reality, let's do a engine price check. So we have searched for the Renault Megane 1.2 engine on eBay. We have $3,000 for the engine, we have $5,000, and this does not include the price of fitting. If we were to put on a general price between $2,000 to $3,000 for fitting, even if you got this engine for $3,000, it's going to be $6,000, and it doesn't look like there is many engines available. So you want to also, when you're checking this, you want to check, is it readily available, an engine? If it isn't, if it's scarce, then why is it scarce? That should ring alarm bells. On the other hand, we have a Renault Megane 2-litre engine over here. As you can see, the price range is way less than half at $1,500, and cost of fitting, let's just say 2,000 to 3,000. You're max looking at 4,500 if anything goes wrong. So me personally, I would buy the 2-litre engine and not the 1.2, because in the future, if there is any problems, I've checked, the engines were between 1 and 2,000 for the 2-litre engine, and for the 1.2 litre it was a lot more expensive. Why is it a lot more expensive? And from a wrecker point of view, because I'm a full-time French car wrecker, I can tell you the Renault 1.2 turbo petrol engines are very bad, and a good engine is very scarce. That's how much we sell of these. But the 2-litre ones are very reliable, and that's why I would go for that. So when you're looking at a car, if there's different variants and you don't mind the difference, I would look at the prices of engines and the prices of transmissions and see which one is okay. There's a lot of this available, the price is cheaper, this one must be more reliable than the other one. And this is probably the most important part when purchasing a vehicle, because in the future, yeah, sure, you can drive it out of the second-hand dealer, and it might be good for a couple of months, but then if it does come to it and the engine goes or the transmission goes, you want to take that into account, unless you have insurance and whatnot. So keep this in mind, and we'll go on to the next one. And number 5, if you do not have any mechanical knowledge or expertise, or if you don't know anyone, family or friends that have this knowledge, I would personally book a Redbook inspection. It's better than nothing. So it's redbookinspect.com.au, and basically for I believe $280 it will tell you a few things. So run a diagnostic tool scan for fault codes, accident damage and whatnot. So I'll show you an example of a pre-purchase inspection report that they have. So hoses, pipes, mountings in good working order, fluid leaks, no visible fluid leaks. So they will do an inspection for you, and this is also again better than not doing any inspection at all. Um, Normal operational noise from the engine bay okay at the time of inspection, and this is for $280. I think if you are buying a relatively pricey car, this is definitely a good option to take, and I would do this myself if I didn't have mechanical knowledge. I hope you found this video helpful. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and we will see you in our upcoming videos.